in the film, obviously, you're working with a great ensemble of actors, and it's a fantastic cast. What was it like getting that camaraderie both on screen and on set?
You know, I think if you could, when you see the movie, you'll see how much friendship we have.
Right.
You know, we just go out we go out to dinner all the time. We go out to party or whatever all the time. So that really shows on the screen. That was a major thing, and Ava made sure that we did that from day one.
Yeah.
Day one, we went out to eat. Everybody laughed. Everybody, you know, talked. Some of us cried, telling old stories about, you know, things that we knew about the movement and all of that type of stuff. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, and was that one of the main things you found from Ava as a director? What were her other strengths?
Just putting together the best people, you know, and motivating the best. She motivates you like a great football coach, you know.
Yeah.
Like I was telling somebody, I was like, man, you know, we were supposed to be wintertime in Alabama, but we were shooting in the summer, so we had these big hot suits on, these overcoats.
Yeah.
And man, we get tired, get hot, but it's just like, yo, we're going to fight through, we're going to persevere, we're going to go keep marching and all this, that, and the other, man. And like, you want to work for somebody like that. You want a director like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what were the challenges in terms of recreating the time period, as well as the joys of being able to sort of recreate the look and the feel and the camaraderie and all that?
One thing about the 60s is that it's almost like the first decade that was so heavily documented.
Right.
So it wasn't that much challenge because we had a lot to pull from. So the challenges weren't there. The amazing part is that, man, we had the responsibility of playing these superheroes, these great leaders.
Yeah.
Like, these people are, I mean, you know, you got Superman, you got Batman, but these people are real superheroes who changed the way the world perceives, you know, my people, and the way that the country had to change.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
I love Malcolm X. Sam Cooke is like, I love Sam Cooke. You know, artists of the likes of I'm a big Christian, so absolutely number one. My mother would bring me that, you know what I mean, that history and that love for God, and yeah.
May I ask, what kind of research did you do for the role, and did you dig up anything that kind of surprised you, or was something that you didn't know before?
Well, honestly, I didn't know about my character before, and so that was really the greatest sort of thing that I took away. This man who Dr. King said when he was murdered that he demonstrated the conscience of the nation, and I think it was my own way of giving thanks and bearing witness, and you know, and I hope that it's a small testimonial to his courageousness and his nobility, and to all the sort of untold others who bore witness and demonstrated the conscience of the nation.
And what was it like working with this tremendous ensemble cast?
Incredible. Yeah. I mean, everyone was really, this was a sacred mission for everybody, and there wasn't a person in the cast, in the crew, the teamsters, everybody wanted to make a film that was worthy of this subject, which is a really difficult challenge, and I think I feel very proud to be part of it.
And just lastly, Ava is a director. I mean, it's a phenomenal film. What was it like to work with her, and what do you think her strengths are?
Well, I think she was completely in command at every level, and also incredibly accessible and present, which is just a really, I mean, this was a daunting task, and she really handled it with such grace and compassion and presence and knowing.
Thank you very much. Yeah, as a filmmaker and as a writer yourself, what choices that Ava made making the movie surprised you or excited you or interested you?
First of all, for her to make the movie, because the movie's been around for a very long time and they haven't been able to get it made. So for her to do it, and for her to do a rewrite on it, which is a little known fact, and she did do the rewrite on it, and to get this movie made is I'm excited for her on so many levels. And just the choice, the casting, the way that it looks. I mean, she hadn't been in this business very long, and to have this momentum, I'm just really, really proud of her. I can't wait for her to get down here.
All right, thank you very much.
In light of recent events, what do you think we should take away from this movie?
I think what this movie teaches is what Dr. King was teaching all the time. Peaceful protest is the way to affect change. Like looking at the Million March yesterday here in New York, amazing, beautiful, every face represented. That's what affects change. Not just one group trying to make change. Until everybody cares, it's very, very difficult to do. So that's what I'm hoping that people walk away from.
I really haven't got to the bottom of it, unless it's just like an invasion of the empire or something. You know, because we invented all this stuff, so we should be here. But I don't know. I really don't know what happened. I think it's pure. It must be pure coincidence. But there's 4 of us.
Right.
Like, but I have to admit, a couple of them I didn't know that they were English.
Right.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah. And what kind of drew you to this role, in particularly in this film?
Well, the first thing that drew me to us is a very good script, and I love the idea of playing Wallace, and because it's the sort of the racist backbone of that spurs that kind of protest on in a way. But also, my father would have got a serious kick out of me playing Wallace because he was such a lefty.
Yeah.
King was such a hero to him, and Wallace was such a bad guy in our house that he would have seriously got a kick out of that, I think, and my mum too. So it's great. I mean, and look at this.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
This is unusual.
Yeah.
Very, very unusual.
It's fantastic. Great work, and enjoyed the film. Very good work.
I'm looking forward to it.
Besides Martin Luther King Jr., who would you say has inspired you the most?
George Wallace. See? Now you thought...
Oh no, can I ask one more?
That would be bad, right? Yeah, brought out my inner racist, big time. Yeah, I got in touch with my soul. I loved him. No, go on.
So, in light of recent events, what do you think we should take away from this movie?
Well, it's the fact that the same conversation is taking place is pretty extraordinary, and ironic and very sad. I think hopefully it'll help pump up the protests and the movement and so on. But the thing that they really need to go after, and we were talking about this, me and Ava and a bunch of guys, is gerrymandering and rigging the black vote. Is something that's actually what he was fighting to stop happening, and it's happening again. So that's the one. The brutality against and injustice against black people will always be, and we can really work at changing that. But the vote is the one, because unless you have someone really to vote for, you're done. Democracy is dead. So if you've got 2 people to vote for that are the same person, what do? Vote for the lesser asshole? That's a bad waste of a vote. So hopefully they'll get there.
Action and camaraderie between them, both in reality and with the actors themselves. How was that, developing that and creating that amongst the group, the ensemble?
Oh, well, it's really easy to create it because so many people were doing so much research so we could be as authentic as possible. And when you delve into the world and create the world so strong and authentic and exact, sharing that information, it cultivates a rapport that the very men and women who were part of the movement had, and it cultivated a rapport and an understanding of how it wasn't happenstance. It was a great intellectual, strategic movement. It wasn't just about the back of the bus or being able to drink from a water fountain. That people actually knew that there was the constant threat of death, that people lost their lives, that there's blood on that ballot box, and that these are some of the most courageous people in our recent history, because, you know, courage is acting not in the absence of fear, but in the face of fear. And to say I'm going to be nonviolent with this constant shadow of death was absolutely amazing. And to come to that understanding as we put together the world and created the characters was a reminder of their camaraderie. You had to be close as a family to make a commitment like that, and the commitment that we had to make sure that we would honor them with the most authentic and real and impactful portrayals of what happened then, and these people brought us together.
Yeah, and was there anything in the research that you all did that surprised you, or something you didn't know, or something that came up that really got to the core of your character?
I think the thing that didn't surprise me. It just was a reminder that it was that this was not some walk in the park. That this was people knew that their lives every day possibly could be the last day of their life. There was a constant understanding that someone would die, not maybe someone would die. They knew people would die, and to still be committed in act and understanding that it was a reminder of how great these people were, you know, and that was the thing. And to be literally, you know, walking in their footsteps, just reminded us that this is not some fictionalized story, that this is recent history, it's ongoing history, it's an ongoing battle, and that people gave their lives so that we can exercise our rights.
And just lastly, sir, what was the most sort of personally difficult and or touching moment that you had to portray in the movie?
It was after it was all over. When we wrapped in Selma, and I stood on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and I could hear, and I looked down in the Alabama River, and I just thought about all the people who had lost their lives in that river over years and years and years of violence and terror. And you could hear those souls say, remember us, tell our story, don't let them forget us. And there's thousands of people, thousands of unknown people who we really are honoring here tonight, who gave the ultimate sacrifice, and that we'll never know their names, who died alone, you know, in the face of their tormentor. And we honor them. I honor their spirit.
The movie definitely does that. I think it's a fantastic film. I think it's very important, and I think everyone should see it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time.
This is wrong, and trying to figure out ways to work together to correct it. We're in a continuum. This keeps happening. Until we start to really break down, analyze, and correct it, it'll happen again. So I hope people watch Selma, get some new ideas about new things that we can be doing tactically, strategically. But isn't it an amazing time to be alive? You know, when people are just vibrating with change. I love it. Yes, my young friend.
I'm a young day for the game.
Thank you so much. One question, because we're getting ready to go in.
Hi, it's a fantastic film.
Thank
really,
you.
Just thought it was very important and fantastic. One question I had, obviously there is violence in the film. How difficult was it striking the balance? Obviously it's not really gratuitous, it's actually shot in a way that is affecting, but how difficult was it to strike that balance between gratuitous and getting it?
It's emotional violence, you know. Sometimes you show the physical hit, and that's enough, and that's all you do. We show the hit, and then we show how it affects the heart, the person, the soul, the spirit. I think it's important to do that, otherwise it's just a violent spectacle.
Of course, very definitely.
Thank you.
Injustices we're suffering right now without actually getting out there and making our voices heard and telling our vote.
Alright, thank you so much.
First of all, even if we didn't know about it, the fact that they have now worthy national doesn't mean so my feeling is that everything is always exactly as it should be. It's no coincidence that this is happening. Because it's happening now, people are paying more attention. Life is always ready to teach and open you up to the greater possibilities of so what's exciting to me is that people are awake. That it took Eric Garner, it took Michael Brown, and others to do that. This film can teach people a lot. Because what this film says is it's been done. It was done. Y'all were not the first to do it. The first to order protests, the first to get upset. We didn't even have the right citizens to vote portrayal.